Greetings, people of the world! Matthew back with you here on Aurora Autism for the continuation of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn. It is Year 2, Day 16 for EDSS in the Realm Reborn. And last time we started to take on some of the harder versions of dungeons and castles and other various places of the like that we've been to previously. So yesterday we started by taking on the hard version of Copperbell Mines, and discovered that I had underestimated the abilities of my party when I thought that we were going to get all killed off, and decided to abandon the fight in hoping that we would restart, only to discover that the party had the situation well in hand. Yeah, shows you what I know, but today hopefully we can turn ourselves around as far as trusting my allies, as we take on now the hard version of Halatali, which we took on as part of the first round of the hunting log for the Grand Company that we chose, which is the Maelstrom. And so let's go ahead and speak with Earl to complete the challenge of getting here. Welcome to Halatali, where heroes are made. I am Earl, and any friend of Hugobert is a warmly regarded acquaintance of mine. Didn't mention he used to tread the sands, did he? Been trying to get that smooth-talking son of a Hydra to take up the gladiator trade again, but gets easily distracted, Hugobert does. Now, I'll wager he didn't put two and two together when he heard your name. You're the lad Fafa Journey over there was talking about, aren't you? Indeed I am. Ha! I knew it! The liberator of Halatali himself. Thanks to you, we've made it nice and deadly in there again. Got to restore the Colosseum games to what they were. It's no lap of luxury, I warn you. Place could use some more freshening up, and there are some lurking crawlers that need a good killing, but the brass blades are on that detail. So what do you say? Care to experience the new and improved training grounds? We'd be honored to have the liberator of Halatali return as a challenger. And so, that we shall do. So now we have access to the hard version of Halatali. So, let's go ahead and set it up. Going to go right down here. There we go. Alright, so let's go ahead and open it up. So, be back in a moment once we enter the hard version of Halatali. And here we are. Halatali Hard Mode now available. As you can see, we have little creatures running about, but don't underestimate their size, they're going to be vicious. As well as all the new traps that have been laid out for us, as myself and 3 other online players begin their journey here at Halatali Hard. And it looks like, as before, I'm not the only one who's here for the first time. It looks like the Bard, the Archer, is also new here. Alright, so, let's have our leader, the tank, take us on our journey. Looks like we have a female Mikose playing the tank. That'll be me. Yeah, just to give you an idea of what's going to happen. Much like in Copperbell, there's a lot of the tank drawing all the enemies from one side of the area to another to get them all brought in at once and kill them all at once. Oh, it looks like this one's going to back off a bit. Looks like this tank's going to back off just a little bit. I guess gonna take pity on the fact that I'm here for the first time. Because I am, at least with Edie. Yeah, I've done many a hard mode run on Halatali before, so I'm very well versed with this place. So, dispose of them. And there we go, it's gone. Next. Alright, yeah, we got more bats to deal with. And mammoths. For the first part of our journey here in Halatali Hard Mode, these mammoths are things we actually have to defeat. But in some instances, they'll actually help us. But we'll get to that latter statement in a moment. For now, we want to keep beating up everything. As our tank goes and proceeds to bring old bad guys together, and preferably underneath the spiked ball that you see there, because, as you see, it can put a status infliction on bad guys. it can also do the same to us, so be careful where you stand. Look out. Look out, and now let's set it up. Yep, look out for that. Look out for that. Yeah, you can see the statement vulnerability up. It has a time limit on it, as you can see, but if you can keep it going, if you can keep them under there, you can get that vulnerability increase remaining there. You can have it constantly reset. But as I said, it can happen to you as well. You can see at the top of the screen, it also hit me. I'm also affected by the vulnerability increase. Let's hit him with a big, awesome Dragonfire dive. Yeah, so as the name implies, whenever the enemies get suspect to that attack, then they can take more damage. And jump. Haha! Right into the ball. Crushed. Alright, here we go. On to our next location. Alright, it's 2 more mammoths to deal with. It looks like we're gonna pull them away, or maybe not. Okay, well, this person has obviously done Polytalion hard mode as well, so they know where the spike balls are gonna land. They know where they're set up, they know where they're gonna land, and that was definitely an impressive use of knowledge done by the tank. Let's go ahead and keep pounding away on these bad guys. And as you can see, I was standing too close, so now I've also been affected by the vulnerability increase. But not for much longer. There we go. That's the first part of this place down. So, on to the first mini-boss. Pyrakmon. Now this guy, he's quite an interesting character because he's not the only thing here that we're going to have to deal with. In fact, there is something else that's going to show up as well. You can see on the right, showing up just now, there is another mammoth. But this one is not going to hurt us. This thing actually can help us. But we have to start by beating up Pyrakmon first, because he's got a lot of damaging abilities, including the 100-ton swing, which can hit all around and can cover almost the entire arena. It can cover almost the entire field of play, and so you need to be careful when he's using that move. And when he uses 1,000-ton swing and charges up for it, what you want to do is have someone hit the switch over there on the right, and that will activate the mammoth's force field. You can get a force field to go into play, and you can get some temporary protection against the 1,000-ton swing. And when it goes off, you take no damage. So, yeah, this guy likes to spam the move Piercing Flower a lot, so do the best you can to stay behind him when he unleashes that attack. Because if you don't, it can hurt you quite a bit, and it can also cause it also can cause you to get electrocuted. Okay, 100-ton swing. Hopefully I'm far away enough. I am. Yeah, that's another thing that can cause electrocution. Alright, so charging up for the 1,000-ton swing again. The switch has been activated, and the mammoth can now provide us with a force field to give us some temporary relief. Right, we can now go back, return to attacking the Pyrakmon. So yeah, just as long as you know where to stand, you'll be fine. Yeah, this is similar, this particular enemy is actually similar to the second mini-boss back in Orm Vale. It fights in a similar manner to that particular boss. So if you know the Orm Vale fight, then you'll have no problem fighting this one too. But of course, since there's the addition of the mammoths and the really powerful ability, then obviously you want to take greater care in protecting yourself. But we have succeeded. What can we play for? Ooh, these go to a Dragoon, so I get the opportunity to earn them anyway. Plus animal fat. Yeah, animal fat, that's something that someone can use for crafting. Yeah, just pure, unadulterated animal fat. That's pretty gross. But we can move on to the second stage here in Halatali hard mode. Oh, and the Bard DC'd. Nuts. Okay, they're back. Ooh, yeah, sometimes you don't want that to happen to anyone who's doing this. But thankfully we can wait for the Bard to return, and then we can get right to it. So after getting both of those treasures, yeah, the Darklight Gauntlets, those are things that I don't need. I can exchange those easily for seals. So, waiting on the Bard's arrival. There they are. So now let's move on to part 2 of Halatali Hard. And as if you were paying attention to what the gladiators were saying, we were going to be expecting some beasts, and so we're starting with some curls. We fought curls before in, I want to say Outer Limacea is where we fought them before. Alright. And as you can see on the right side of the screen, we have to kill off 7 of them. Yeah, full of 7 of these things, but they're not all that bad. So the 2 pups are down, now for its mother. I'm assuming that's the mother, but the fact that it doesn't have pup in the name would suggest that that is the mother. Animal cruelty in a video game, what can I say? And take care of you in a moment. Good, you're down. Well, look out for that attack, because that can cause paralysis. As you can see, it's called a Tarama. It's like a curl, but it's a little bit tougher. It does have a lot of the same abilities, though. And can also cause a lot of the same status afflictions. And over here, we should find a treasure chest. And this should contain another piece of gear that can be possibly equipped. But it can also sometimes contain just potions and ethers. So up here is where the next set of enemies are. These don't count towards our total of beasts we have to fight, but we still have to kill them off just the same. Alright. Fight on, my friends. And now we're gonna have a Basilisk joining in on the fight. Yeah, you gotta be careful about where you're standing or where you're fighting, because sometimes you'll get unwanted visitors. Look out! Alright, that one's down. Now for the lemur. Oh crap, I'm not gonna be able to avoid this move. Yeah, the way that I was attacking and then followed by the jump, there was no way I could have avoided that. But they can't avoid this attack though. Good old-fashioned dragon fire dive right to the heart. And another special ability there. Try and stay out of their way. So yeah, looks like they've got the Basilisk. So it's up to me to deal with the lemur. Come on. Commands, please. Yeah. How dare you attack! How dare you attack King Julian! I had to. Yeah, Sacha Baron Cohen. What do you think about that? Alright. On to our next set of enemies. And this is where the caged beast will once again come into play. As we turn around, we're now fighting bears. And these particular bears are not going to want to have anything to do with encouraging you to prevent forest fires. Yeah, how long has it been since those public service announcements with Smokey the Bear were on the TV? Because I remember those very vividly from my childhood, where at the end Smokey always says, "Remember, only you can prevent forest fires." And it seems like they got the message in the United States, but as far as Canada is concerned, we have a lot of forest fires every year. Particularly in British Columbia and in Northern Ontario. Yeah, British Columbia is like a haven for forest fires during the summer. And that's a lot of decimated forests there every year. Yeah, it seems though that man is not the reason for a lot of forest fires these days. It's more got to do with the fact that because it's of global warming, it's now so warm that if it gets really hot on one day, the trees can actually, if they're dry enough, they can actually catch fire. It's also known to happen in the American plains with grass, with tall grass. It can also, if it's really dry and it's a really hot day out, it also can catch fire and spread like crazy. I don't know why, but for some reason it feels like I'm straining my neck. And I don't know what the heck is causing that. It's something that I've just noticed has been going on in the last hour. So it might be in my best interest once this place is over to just call it a day. Yeah, because this should not be happening. Or I have a strained neck. Okay, yeah, there's an opportunity to detect something. Dark Light Choker of Maiming. I believe I'm going to get that one as well because it's suited for someone like a Dragoon. But I won't need to use it because, as I mentioned before, my gear is already so strong I won't need to use it. So its purpose is more or less going to be to get me skills through my Grand Company than elsewhere. Alright, take this. And this is the last line of defense before our next boss duel. And so, just dealing with the lemurs. King Julian, Mort, and Maurice. But yeah, you can't help but enjoy Mort. He's so hilarious. It's like watching Patrick on SpongeBob SquarePants, but it's actually adorable. Which of the colors is blue? Yeah, I remember that from an episode of The Penguins of Madagascar. Yeah, it's a shame they didn't put out more episodes following the ones that they put out in 2010. Because I enjoyed The Penguins of Madagascar. So now on to the second mini-boss, the Kotobopas. What you want to do here is have everyone stand in a specific spot where they can gain access to one of 4 shadowy orbs. Because Kotobopas has a special ability that, once it goes up, if you are in the way of it, you are in trouble. Because you can take some really significant damage. So yeah, just waiting on the opportunity to make my move. And for Kotobopas to unleash the skill that is needed to touch the shadowy orb on. That's not it, but if you don't touch the shadowy orb, you can make yourself vulnerable to that move. Okay, here's where the shadowy orb is touched. The best way to indicate it is when the ring in the center of the field of play turns yellow. Once that happens, that's when your cue is to take a touch of shadowy orb. Then you have to touch the Tainted Eye. This Tainted Eye can increase the vulnerability of your party and stack it. So once the Tainted Eye becomes something that you can damage, you have to attack it. It's a lot like Titan's Heart in the Battle of Titan, or the hearts against the second mini-boss in the Sunken Temple of Karn. They both serve the same purpose. Look out. Ugh. Yeah, and then once he gets on a roll, he can really spam Jetatura like no one's business. Okay. Ring glows yellow again, touch the shadowy orb, and then go ahead, and we'll go ahead and use the limit break here. Yeah, well, I'm gonna suffer some damage here, but it was worth it. Alright, back to the Tainted Eye. Hit that Tainted Eye. But there are also instances as well. You can see Kotobopas is still taking damage. Kotobopas can and will still take damage while this is in play. If you're able to kill Kotobopas fast enough, then you won't need to necessarily worry about that problem. And wow, how fortunate am I getting all these good drops? This is nuts. I'm usually not this lucky. But yeah, I'm just getting gear drops like mad here in the Halatali hard mode. Okay, so on to round 3. We got the Coke, we got the Protector's Trousers. And so we'll turn around here. And so now we're gonna start taking on actual gladiators and their minions. So let's start jumping. Let's start jumping and give them what for. And the cooking sherry, that's not something I necessarily wanted because you can use it if you're doing culinary as a crafting skill, but since I don't do that, it's not something I can really use, and it doesn't really sell for any money at all. It's pretty much worthless as a selling item. So only take it if you're actually doing culinarian as a skill in Final Fantasy XIV or Realm Reborn. Otherwise, don't bother touching it. Because yeah, there's no reason holding on to an item that you can't use. Or not willing to use. So let's pound away on the Lancer now. A brother Lancer, but unfortunately he's the bad guy here. Now, he's not necessarily the bad guy in the purest sense. He is more or less one of the adversaries that we have to fight in order to make our way to the last duel. So now that the Lancer and his pair of wolves are defeated, onward we go to round 2 of our 3-round gladiator gauntlet, where we take on an actual gladiator and their conjurer aid. So you want to get rid of the conjurer here because they're capable of healing. Once you get them out of the way, go ahead and move on to the gladiator. So yeah, we'll take it to this guy, or this girl, whoever they are. Yeah, this isn't all that hard of a fight. Well, look out for Bloodstain. That can cause good damage. And jump. Ow. Kapow, baby. 1 and 2. And soon you will be through. Especially when I slow you down a little. Spirits without, huh? Well, soon you'll be a gladiator without a spirit. And down he goes. And that just leaves one more round of gladiator trials before the main course, which will be our final boss duel. A marauder and 2 archers. Obviously, we want to get the archers first. So let's just go ahead and do that. Keep your attack focused on the archers to begin with, because the marauder, he's the one who really deals the damage, but you want to get rid of his friends because archers can cause a lot of nasty status afflictions against you, and you want to avoid those as much as you possibly can. So, see what you have to do to eliminate the threat that the archers possess, and then once they're gone, you can waste away on the marauder. Good so far, but looks like we're spreading the damage around. But yeah, the recommendation is that you get the archer first. The archers, in this instance, because there are 2 of them in this fight. And unlike the where we were before, in the first 2 locations, you can't pull everyone and bring them all together at once. You can only do these battles against the various gladiators one at a time. Now that we've taken care of that, all that's left is to take on our final boss duel. So speak with Bronze Bull there, that opens the last gate, and on we go to our final confrontation. The final test shall pit you against the finest gladiators ever to grace the Blood Sands. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of them. And their pets. So we got the little Lalafell and these four. Oh, yeah, I guess we're gonna have to skip the cutscene because we gotta get into the fight. Yeah, we gotta get into the fight right now. So, first person you want to take care of is Sonnet Master Solemn. That is the group's healer. So, you have to dispatch of her first. Then, next person to go after is Ugolino, the Sand Devil. Now, granted you are not required to follow the order I suggest, but those are the two that cause most pain, because Ugolino is also an archer. And as I mentioned before, archers have the tendency to cause some pretty bad status ailments if you don't deal with them. Then between Franz the Fair and Langelsot the Lionheart, Franz the Fair being a gladiator, Langelsot the Lionheart being a lancer, take your pick. Either way, they're pretty tough. So whoever you get first, it doesn't matter. After you take care of Sonnet Master and Ugolino, you're good to go. So now, time for the little Lalafell and his minion. Yeah, this little Lalafell, he comes not only with his minion, but also with a nasty side effect, being a black mage. So we should see that coming up in a moment. And the important thing is to take care of the black mage first. Okay, he's going to cast this ability called Stand Still. When it goes into effect, two people will get bound and they cannot be freed until you touch this staff, Dahl's Scepter right here. Touch it and your friends can go. If you don't get them out fast enough, that AoE that's being cast right now by Mumuepo will cause a lot of damage. And he'll continue to cast this ability until he is defeated. So whenever you see the staff, or two people getting bound, touch the staff, get out of the way of this massive AoE, because there is an escape option. And then once the AoE goes down, go back to Mumuepo. And once again, he will cast Stand Still. And someone's going to get bound. Gotta find where the staff is. It's over here. Get out of the AoE. And just keep repeating this. It's not all that bad. And return to Mumuepo. Look out for any casts of spells he might do. And there we go. He goes out like Vizzini in The Princess Bride with the words, "Inconceivable!" Yeah, that "inconceivable" has to be one of the great movie memes of all time. When you consider who's saying it, and how much of a badass he thinks he is, but it's discovered that he really is not. So now we can just focus on Narasima. In fact, I'll go ahead and limit break him. We won't wait for a double limit break, because this will get him pretty close down to the end, and then that'll do it. Victory is ours. All gladiators and their minion are down. A glorious contest! I was hard-pressed to restrain myself from joining the fray. Oh, I'm sure you were. Nonetheless, we are victorious. And so with that, that brings Halatali Hard Mode to a close. So, thank you to everyone for your support on this particular challenge. And to conclude, we'll go ahead and pay for these last two items. We weren't able to get them, but that's alright. So, that's going to bring two of our challenges to a close on Hard Mode. But there's one more still to do, and we'll go ahead and take care of it next time. So with that, I'd like to thank everyone for watching the continuation of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn. And when I join you again, we will make our way back to Gridania and the Black Shroud to unlock another hard mode level of a dungeon we've been to before. So until next time everyone, this is Matthew and Navora Autism, saying take care, and I'll see you soon.